It might seem strange to you to learn manners from Pocahontas, but you'll see why. Pocahontas was always polite, and she'll show you why she uses princess manners. Pocahontas and her people lived in a simple, natural way close to the land. Her tribe lived in harmony with nature, the earth, the air, and the water. Then the Europeans came from a land far across the Atlantic Ocean, where they lived in big cities full of people who lived very differently from her tribe. Pocahontas crossed the Atlantic Ocean to represent her people to the Europeans. She had to live in a huge castle and wear these big ball gowns with skirts that were not comfortable like what she was used to. She had to sit in chairs at a table. She had to learn about table manners and other European social graces in order to convince the Europeans that her people were not savages. Pocahontas was introduced to the English royalty as an American Indian princess because her father was the chief of their tribe. Before Pocahontas ate with the English, she had not eaten with forks, knives, or spoons, except maybe some wooden spoons. But even though she had never eaten with forks and knives or spoons, she knew about manners. That's because good manners are caring about what is best for others. Pocahontas will tell you what manners she learned and why every princess should know them. Number 1, use the magic words please and thank you. Pocahontas knew that people don't want to be taken for granted. No one likes to be bossed around and ordered to do things. Just by saying please before you ask someone to do something shows that you care about them. Just by saying thank you when someone does something for you shows that you appreciate what they did for you. That's number 1. Now, number 2 is to say something nice or say nothing at all. Pocahontas knew not to say bad things behind someone's back. The people who hear you will think that you talk about them behind their backs. If someone does something you do not like, tell them instead of telling other people. So when we say, number 2, say something nice or say something not at all, it means don't talk about things that have no use being talked about except to make you feel better or just to make another person look bad. If you don't like something, talk directly to that person. That's number 2. Now, number 3 is be helpful to others. Pocahontas knew that if you want someone to be good to you, then you have to be good to them. That's the golden rule, and that's very easy to understand. We don't want to have friends who are always being mean to us. So if you want to have a friend, be nice to someone. Take turns. That's number 4. Pocahontas knew that everyone wants to have a turn. It's no fun if you get left out, so you make sure that when you have a chance to make a choice and decide, that you don't just hog whatever it is that people are waiting to play with or eat or whatever. We have to take turns taking our share. That is the important thing, to share by taking turns. Number 5 is table manners. Table manners are used just so that you do what helps other people enjoy their meal. A. You take small bites and chew with your mouth closed. You don't want to chew with your mouth open because then people can see the food, and it just is an awful thing to be at a table where people are chewing with their mouths open. B. Don't talk with a mouth full of food. First of all, nobody can understand what you're saying as well as if you wait a little bit until your mouth is empty and then you say whatever it is you had to say. Also, that tends to also show food in your mouth being chewed. And we don't like to look at partially chewed food. It looks much prettier when it's on the plate. And how do you do that? Is you take a small bite. If you take a small bite, you'll be able to get it chewed and out of sight before you have to answer a question. You know that Pocahontas knew that no one likes to see food being chewed in someone else's mouth. So Pocahontas says, I don't have a cloth for a napkin, but I keep my fingers clean with water. Why do you think she said that? Because number C is put your napkin in your lap before you eat. And would that have been a table manners for Pocahontas? No, because she didn't have napkins. D, wait to eat until everyone is served. Why do you think you do that? That's because you want to make sure that everyone got some of the food. So that's why you wait till everyone is served. Then you start eating. E, you check to see that everyone has enough food before you eat. Pocahontas knew that everyone would like to be first and no one wants to be last, so the best thing to do is wait and start together. Now, the essence of good manners is always the same, whether you live in a castle made of stones and mortar or a long house made of logs, bark, and earth, or a wigwam made of animal skins and branches. You show you have good manners when, with self-respect, you give the same respect to others. That way, you both feel wonderful. Good manners helps another person feel that you both are wonderful. And that is why Pocahontas was able to teach us good manners, because it's not whether you eat with your fingers as she did and have never used a spoon or a fork or a knife. It's because you think of others and also look around you to make sure that everyone has had what they need before they eat, and also to watch whoever your hostess is or host so that you can see what their manners are, and that will give you an idea of how you can have manners in their land.